Congressman Eric Swalwell under fire for helping Hunter Biden avoid his closed-door deposition and reserving the spot of his dramatic press conference just feet away from the Capitol. Now, our next guest is calling for contempt charges against Swalwell. Congressman Andy Biggs joins us now. That's an interesting little duo there. I mean, they both have Chinese spies in their, connected to them in one way or another. So why did you decide to do this, Congressman?
Well, my position, Rachel, is this. Yeah, everybody knew that Hunter Biden had a subpoena. He defied it. Eric Swalwell basically admitted he helped defy that. So he's aided and abetted that defiance, that crime, and so he shouldn't need he needs to be held accountable for the same activity that anybody else would who aided and abetted a crime. So that's what I'm saying with Eric. He needs to be investigated. If it turns out that he overstated his participation in defiance, then nothing needs to happen. But if he participated as fully as he indicated, he needs to be held accountable.
Well, he was definitely there with him. So here's what Representative Eric Swalwell had to say.
Hunter showed up. He was ready to testify publicly. You know, what Hunter chooses to do and not do is up to him, but they've got absolutely nothing. And they've wasted thousands of hours of time here at the Capitol to try and go after a former addict, to weaponize that addiction against that addict's father, who's the president.
Wow, I mean, I can't believe it. Like, he's actually trying to suggest that Congress is going after Hunter Biden because he's an addict. It's so insane. So what do you say to that? Because you just can't go on. You have to have a member of Congress reserve your spot there on the Capitol, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't just get to pop up. So, Swalwell actually reserved it. The second thing is he knew there was a subpoena, and guess what? Everybody that gets subpoenaed that's a citizen has to come in and testify. You don't get to willy-nilly say, well, gee, I wanted to do it in a public committee because I like that format better than a private deposition, which, by the way, Don Jr. came in, Ivanka came in for when they had subpoenas. But if Eric's trying to deflect this thing, so the bottom line is, if he helped defy the subpoena, he is held to the same as if he committed that act himself, and he needs to be prosecuted, just like Hunter Biden needs to be prosecuted.
Congressman Biggs, Peter Navarro, the economic advisor for Donald Trump, he didn't want to come in for his hearing or his deposition, and they shackled him inside of a public airport and drug him out of the airport. I mean, there is just two tiers of justice here. It's unbelievable. One gets the help from a congressman to set up a press conference to defend himself, and the other one gets dragged out of an airport. It's just the two-tier system is so obvious. I need to ask you about this because you're from the great state of Arizona, and your governor, Katie Hobbs, who says in her campaign said, oh, the border isn't a big deal. I don't know why we're even talking about this, has now decided that she's going to send the National Guard to our border because it's gotten so out of control. Explain to me what's going on. Does she really care about what's happening at the border and it is a crisis, a national security one at that? Or is there some politics? Tell us what's going on in the state of Arizona.
Well, I think it's a political liability, our border. And the dangers that are happening on our border. Democrats here and independents are fed up with what's going on the border. I think it becomes a political deal. By the way, it's a little late. She's the one who took down barriers in Yuma as soon as she came in. She disbanded the border task force that Governor Ducey had set up. And now we have Lukeville closed because there's no agents to actually process that, or actually work that port of entry. And they're so busy with 1,000 people or so a day. That's the problem. It's all political in my mind. Yeah,
it certainly looks that way. Congressman Biggs, thank you for joining us this morning, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Rachel.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.